Chapter 1. The Last Will of May Alder. If Lily Evergreen had made a list of places she expected to be on the 1st of December, Snowberry Hollow would not have cracked the top 100. Yet here she was, dragging a suitcase through half-melted slush, cursing her boots and wondering if the universe was punishing her for, well, anything she'd done in her 20s. The taxi had dropped her at the top of the narrow lane, the driver offering a sympathetic wince before driving off, leaving her alone with her thoughts and the bitter countryside air. Ahead of her hung a wooden sign, "Welcome to Snowberry Hollow, where Christmas comes early and stays late." Lily puffed out a sharp breath. Great, a village with commitment issues. She pulled harder on her suitcase, which responded by sinking deeper into the slush. "Come on," she hissed. "Don't you dare quit on me on day one." With one dramatic yank, the suitcase lurched free, nearly pulling her with it. She stumbled, caught herself, and glared at the innocent snow as if it had personally insulted her. The village below looked like something straight out of a Christmas movie, warm lights glowing in cottage windows, wreaths on doors, smoke curling from chimneys, and soft snowflakes drifting lazily through the air. Cozy, quaint, picturesque. Lily wasn't fooled. Pretty things could still be complicated. She'd learned that early, far too early, when her mother died unexpectedly. She'd been 6. Too young to understand what grief meant, but old enough to feel the way it left. Cracks in the world that never quite smoothed over, and she had never, not once, heard her mother mention a sister. Not until 3 weeks ago. Not until the phone call. "Miss Evergreen, my name is Oliver Hartley. I'm calling regarding the estate of your Aunt May Alder." Lily had literally laughed. Out loud, at the man. "I don't have an aunt," she'd said. "You've got the wrong Lily." But he hadn't. May Alder had been her mother's older sister. Estranged, unknown, a ghost in family history, and somehow, some impossible, inexplicable way, May had left everything she owned to Lily. A small cottage, a bakery, and a handwritten clause in the will. She must run Holly and Hearth Bakery for the month of December. After that she may keep it, or let it go. 31 days. Lily reached the bottom of the hill and spotted it. A small, white brick building with frosted windows and an old, wooden sign swaying above the door. Holly and Hearth Bakery. Something tugged at her chest. Familiarity without memory. Nostalgia without source. Maybe grief had a way of recognizing its own. She climbed the stone steps, dug the keys from her handbag, and pushed the door open. A small bell chimed overhead. The inside smelled faintly of flour and thyme. Dusty shelves, empty pastry displays, a chalkboard menu still listing prices from who knew when. The counters were clean but unused. The air held the kind of quiet that comes after laughter leaves a place. "This is it," she whispered. "My aunt's life. My inheritance, my December punishment." She moved behind the counter and into the kitchen. It was bigger than she expected. Industrial oven, long counters, shelves lined with jars and tins. Everything slightly worn, slightly loved. And on one hook near the door hung an apron, blue faded, edges frayed. Lily stared at it, her chest tightening. How strange, to feel something for a woman she'd never met. She needed a distraction. Quickly. She found a laminated recipe taped to the wall. Cinnamon buns, May's Christmas batch. "Don't forget the orange zest, Lily." Lily froze. Her name, written in looping handwriting. A chill, not from the cold, ran down her spine. She pressed her fingers lightly to the note. "Did you know about me?" she whispered. "Did you care?" Her throat tightened. But she nodded once, to herself, to her aunt, to the strange new life she was stepping into. "Okay, cinnamon buns. Let's start there." She rolled up her sleeves, grabbed a bag of flour, and promptly tore it open too, aggressively, sending a cloud of white dust exploding into the air and all over, her face, hair, and sweater. She sputtered, cursed, smacked the counter. "Perfect. I'm a walking bakery disaster." She mixed the dough too wet, then too dry, then questioned every life choice she'd ever made, but somehow, miraculously, ended up with a workable ball of dough. She set it aside to rise and scrubbed flour off her cheek with her wrist, which made it worse. The oven beeped. She shaped the buns. Some looked criminally deformed, but fine. Rustic charm. Just as she put them in the oven, a firm knock echoed from the front. Lily jumped, nearly dropping her oven mitt. "Seriously now?" She rushed out, wiping her hands on her apron, and unlocked the door. Standing outside was a tall man in a dark jacket, wool hat, and an expression that looked equal parts amused and concerned. In his hands, he held a wooden crate full of eggs. His eyes, sharp green, took in the flour on her face, her hair, her apron. One brow lifted. "Well," he said with a slow smile, "you're definitely not a burglar." Lily blinked. "A what?" "A burglar." He nodded toward her apron. "They don't usually cover themselves. In flour before breaking in." Heat crept up her neck. I didn't break in. I'm Lily, May's niece, apparently." The man's expression softened. He held out a hand. "Jack Rowan," he said. "I handled May's egg deliveries." Lily shook his hand. Warm, calloused grounding. "She never mentioned me," Lily said softly. "I didn't even know she existed." Jack studied her face, not unkindly. "May kept things close. But she knew who you were." Something fluttered painfully in her chest. The oven timer beeped loudly from the kitchen. Jack's mouth curved. "Burning the place down already?" "No," Lily said, too fast. "I'm testing things." "Testing?" he echoed. "Yes, baking professionally-ish." He laughed. A low, warm sound that made Lily feel both offended and flustered. "Want a second opinion?" he asked. "I do consider myself an expert in baked goods. Strictly as a consumer, of course." "Fine," she said, marching back into the kitchen. "Prepare to be amazed." She pulled out the tray. The buns were edible-looking, some more confident than others. Jack leaned over her shoulder. "They smell good." He tore off a piece, tasted it, and paused. "Well?" Lily demanded. "Spare no mercy." Jack chewed thoughtfully. "It's good," he said finally. "Really good, actually." Lily blinked. "Wait, seriously?" "Seriously." He held up another piece. "Could use more filling, but I'd buy this." Warmth bloomed in her chest. Then he added, "And I'm brutally honest. Ask anyone." She huffed, pretending not to smile. Jack set the rest of the bun down. "Listen, if someone shows up, Vanessa Hart, estate agent, don't sign anything. She's been eyeing this place since September. Why would I sign anything?" He shrugged. "She doesn't like competition or obstacles, and May's will created both." "Is she dangerous?" Lily asked. Jack smirked. "Only if you count overconfidence as a weapon." The bell above the bakery door jingled lightly in the wind. Jack stepped back, tucking his gloves into his jacket. "Welcome to Snowberry Hollow, Lily," he said softly. "May left you something special. Don't let anyone rush you into giving it up." And with that, he left, boots crunching on the snow, hands in pockets, crate empty. Lily watched him go, the bakery suddenly feeling different, warmer, less abandoned. She turned back to the tray of buns, exhaling slowly. "Day one," she whispered. "I met a man with eggs, baked something edible, and learned my mother had a secret sister who knew my name." She let out a shaky laugh. "December? You're already doing too much." Chapter 1, Part 2, Cinnamon, Secrets, and Snow. The cinnamon scent lingered in the air long after Jack had gone, mixing with the soft hum of the bakery's old heating system. Lily stood in the kitchen, staring down at the tray of buns like they held the answers to everything she didn't know yet. She barely noticed the snow picking up outside until the window panes began to tremble, with a gentle tapping, flakes growing thicker, heavier, settling along the sill in white, uneven mounds. London snow was slush, annoyance, chaos. Snowberry Hollow snow felt like an invitation. Lily exhaled slowly. "Okay, I can do this. I just need a plan. A plan and maybe a stronger immune system." She grabbed her coat, brushed off the flour as best she could, and stepped outside to breathe for a moment. The village looked different now, more alive. Lights flickered in nearby windows. Children's laughter echoed faintly from somewhere up the lane, and a golden glow spilled out of the local pub across the street. Above the bakery sign, a small lantern flickered with a warm flame, gently swinging in the gentle gusts of wind. How had she missed that earlier? She stepped out onto the snow-dusted street. The crisp air hit her cheeks, somehow refreshing and biting at the same time. A couple walked by, bundled in matching scarves, the woman nudging the man playfully with her elbow. They both gave Lily a polite smile as they passed. "Evening, dear," the woman called. "Lovely to see Holly and Hearth open again." Lily blinked. "Oh, I'm not open yet. I'm just preparing." "Don't you worry," the woman said warmly. "You'll be brilliant. May always said you had it in you." The couple continued on, leaving Lily frozen in place. She had... What? What did May say? When? To whom? Lily watched them disappear around the corner, her heart fluttering with confusion and something else, something like longing. She wrapped her coat tighter and wandered a few steps down the lane. Holly and Hearth sat nestled between two other shops, a tiny stationery store painted mint green, and a florist's corner full of evergreen branches and winter bouquets. Handmade signs hung in each window. Snowberry Christmas Market, December 3rd. Caroling Night, December 5th. Gingerbread Contest, Kids Division, December 7th. Her stomach tightened. Gingerbread contest? May's gingerbread recipe was still sitting in that little wooden box inside the bakery. The same recipe Jack had mentioned, the one the village apparently worshipped. Pressure, already? On day one? Perfect. She turned back toward the bakery, ready to retreat inside and rethink her entire life, when a sleek black SUV pulled up along the street. Too polished for this village, too shiny, too London. The driver's window rolled down. A woman leaned out. Sharp bob haircut, deep red lipstick, immaculate winter. Coat that screamed expensive. Boutique. She looked Lily up and down with polite curiosity that didn't reach her eyes. "Hello," the woman said, voice smooth and clipped. "You must be Lily Evergreen." Lily hesitated. "Yes?" The woman smiled, but it felt overly controlled. "I'm Vanessa Hart. You may have heard of me. I manage most of the property sales in this village." Jack's warning flashed in Lily's mind. "If she shows up, don't sign anything." "Oh," Lily said, offering a quick nod. "Right. Yes, Jack mentioned you, kind of." "Did he?" Vanessa's smile twitched, like she wasn't sure whether to be flattered or offended. "Well, I'll be brief. I'm sure you're exhausted from traveling." She adjusted her gloves, her gaze flicking toward the bakery behind Lily. "My condolences about May," she added, with a softness that might have been genuine. "She was unforgettable." Lily nodded gently. "Thank you. And I imagine this is all very sudden for you," Vanessa continued. "An inheritance, a business, a property in a village you don't know." Lily's jaw tightened. "That's one way to put it." "If at any point you feel overwhelmed," Vanessa said lightly, "I'm here to help. Selling, leasing, renovating, whatever you need. No pressure." Lily crossed her arms. "I'm not making any decisions yet." "Of course," Vanessa said with a small laugh. "Take your time. Learn the ropes. Run the place for the month. Just know, there's a lot of interest in Holly and Hearth. It's quite a valuable property in the right hands." "In the right hands." Lily heard the words, felt the implication. Vanessa shifted her gaze to Lily's flour-dusted hair and coat. "Baking is a demanding profession, especially for someone with no experience." Lily's stomach dropped. "How do you—" "Small village," Vanessa interrupted gently. "News travels fast." The SUV's engine purred softly. "Well," Vanessa said, flashing a pristine smile, "I won't keep you. Enjoy your first evening in Snowberry Hollow." With a nod, she rolled up the window and drove off. Smooth, effortless, confident. Lily stood alone in the widening snowfall, pressing a hand to her forehead. "Fantastic," she muttered. The villain arrives early. The bakery door creaked behind her as she pushed it open again. Warmth washed over her as she stepped inside, brushing snow from her coat. She looked around at the empty tables, the silent counters, the soft glow of fairy lights she hadn't noticed earlier. "This is my place for the month," she whispered. "Mine, not hers, and I can learn. I will." She moved back into the kitchen, where the cinnamon buns sat cooling on the counter. One of them, perhaps the most lopsided, seemed to stare back at her. "Well," she said to it with a sigh, "at least Jack didn't die from you." She found a notebook in a drawer, blank except for one thing written on the first page. "Start with your heart, not your hands. May." Lily traced the words gently. "Okay, May," she said. "I don't know why you chose me, but I'm here. I'm trying." She looked up, the soft kitchen lights painting golden warmth across the room. Day 1. Snow outside, cinnamon inside, Jack Rowan's crooked smile, Vanessa Hart's perfectly sculpted threat, and a bakery full of secrets she wasn't ready for, yet. She closed the notebook. "Tomorrow," she whispered. "We really start."